for this.
And then you're also excluding teaching and teaching-related positions in elementary, secondary, tech-voc, state universities, colleges, non-chartered tertiary schools. So, now, Deped was not mentioned. SHED was not mentioned. You're only referring to teaching and teaching-related positions. Do I take it that Deped is included?
Yes.
SHED is included in so. This morning.
Good morning. For the government agencies, we have from the Office of the Executive Secretary, Attorney Erin Christian Azaraga. From Civil Service Commission, Attorney Ariel Ronquillo. Department of Finance, ASEC Angelica Sarmiento. For the Department of Budget and Management, we have USEC Wilford Wong. Department of Education, ASEC Dexter Galban. Department of National Defense, USEC Angelito De Leon. From Department of Interior and Local Government, Attorney Gino Lavarias, Legal and Legislative Service. From the Government Service Insurance System, we have Attorney Raquel de Guzman Buensalida. From the PNP, we have Brigadier General Job Russell Baligit. From the BJMP, JC Superintendent Rinco Montaos and JS Superintendent Filipinas T. Fulgencio. Armed Forces of the Philippines, we have Colonel Juvenal Mark Tayamen. Philippine Coast Guard, Commodore Eugenio Federico. Governance Commission for GOCC, we have Attorney Johan Carlos Barcena. Philippine Health Insurance Corporation, Mr. Lemuel Untalan. From the League of Provinces of the Philippines, we have Ms. Angelica Sanchez. And then for the non-government associations and unions, we have from the Philippine Government Employees Association, represented by Mr. Apol Celosa. From the Confederation for Unity, Recognition, and Advancement of Government Employees, COURAGE, Mr. Santiago Dasmariñas. Nagkaisang Labor Coalition, represented by Annie Enriquez Heron. Confederation of Independent Unions in the Public Sector, Abdulan Lakibul. From the Philippine Independent Public Sector Employees Association, PIPSEA, Mr. Miguel D. Maga. Sandigan ng mga empleyado nagkakaisa sa adhikain ng Demokratikong Organization or Senado, Ms. Rosel Eugenio. And Alliance for Concerned Teachers Act, Mr. Vladimir Cuetua. And Tanggol Trabajo Network, represented by Mr. Manuel Baclagon, and Philippine Nurses Association, Dr. Gloria Gia.
May I know if Secretary Perez is here from ARTA? Not yet? On the way? Let me know when he's here, please. Now, the purpose of this meeting is actually to enable this representation to defend the bill on the floor in the coming 3 weeks when we resume session from January 13 to February 2, and hopefully be able to clarify certain questions. I've read the bill, all the versions of the bill, and we will be substituting the bill I filed with that filed by Senator Joel Villanueva, which is almost the same verbatim with the House version that was approved by the House a few months back. Can I clarify that this measure is being pushed by the DBM? Would that be correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
So most questions will be addressed to you and or the Executive Secretary. If I may start, sir, why this bill? Why can you not do this using the relevant provision of the revised administrative code, which authorizes the President to abolish, create offices by executive fiat?
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Chair, for this opportunity. Because there are some laws or agencies created by law which cannot be touched by through executive or
Like
executive ordinances. Those that are created by law, sir.
Like what?
We have some agencies like the DP, like the Department of without any implying any kind of
Please, ano yung mga departments created by law?
yeah.
Housing is one.
How Department of
Ano pa yun?
Housing. We also have Department of Agrarian Reform.
Created by law ba yun?
Yes, sir. Opo. It was deemed extended as well by law recently in the past.
Where is it
Congress.
stated in the revised administrative code that you cannot reorganize a department created by law? My understanding is that the administrative code is a law itself. Because that was passed by virtue of the lawmaking powers of then President Corazon Aquino. That was within that period. Tama ba? The admin code is a law, which therefore delegated that power to the executive, which therefore begs the question if indeed there is that distinction between a department created by a law or a department merely created by the administrative code, because the admin code is also a law. Please, sir. Again, this is to help me answer questions. I'm not making it difficult for you.
Yes, sir.
I'm sure these questions will be thrown at me.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Yes.
These departments are created by laws, and therefore it should only be repealed or superseded by another law. And as far as the executive is concerned, we can only deactivate or render inactive these agencies.
Again, didn't the revised administrative code delegate that power? Can you check the relevant provision in the admin code that says that the president can abolish offices, transfer functions, etc., under the revised administrative code? Hindi sa tinatamad ako, baka hindi na lang kailangan kasi ito baka sapat na yun Because if that is a law too, delegating to the president, then perhaps you can just amend that particular provision of the revised administrative code to make it clearer. Pakihanap.
Mr. Chair, if you may, we prepared the salient features of a bill that we can present for 15 minutes.
Can you put it on the screen? No, he's like, when I was governor, I right-sized in my province. Ironically, DBM did not approve our budget to right-size the province up to today. Up to today, and yet we copied exactly your suggested separation benefits. But to this day, and I do not know, well, good, I'm not the governor anymore. I do not know why even you need to approve the budget of local government units when the money did not come from you. It's a matter of right. A matter of right belongs to the local government unit. Even if it's ERA, it's our entitlement. If we generated it from local sources, it's our money. But anyway, that's a totally different battle. You will not fight today, Isaac. But anyway, so I'm in favor of it. There's no question about it. I did it. We right-sized approximately 15% of our total positions. We were able to hire more doctors, more nurses. We were able to outsource some functions, and we ended up saving money. So there's no question about it that I'm convinced about right-sizing, just the legal nuances. What does the provision say? Can you give it to me? So anyway, while we're looking for that provision, my next question, sir, is the departments to be exempted under the version of the House and that of Senator Villanueva. Can you enumerate them for the record?
Yes, sir.
It is found in section 3, actually. 3 of Senator Villanueva. No, later to. 3. Yes. Simula tayo sa first paragraph. You included all muna except GOCCs under the GCG. May I ask why?
Yes, sir, because they are covered by the GCG, sir.
So?
They are encouraged to also do their own rationalization program, sir.
May I ask GCG what GOCCs are under the GCG specifically? For the record again.
Good morning, Mr. Chair. So there are currently 119 GOCCs under
119.
119 GOCCs currently under the Governance Commission. Mr.
Out
Chair.
of, what's the universe?
Total number of GOCCs in the national government, Mr. Chair. We don't
What's
have
the total number of GOCCs vis-a-vis GOCCs under GCG?
the GOCCs under GCG is 119, and I think the DBM would know how many GOCCs are within their jurisdiction, considering it's outside 10149.
We have 15 GOCCs under under DBM's jurisdiction, Your Honor.
119 plus 15?
One
Are
fi-
there any other GOCCs not under you? Again, my question is, what is the universe of GOCCs that the Philippine government has? Ay,
Mr.
mga darling ha, dapat may nakakasagot niyan.
Mr. Chair, technically speaking, by definition of law, even local water districts are counted as chartered government corporations. They're numbering around 500 operational water districts. State universities and colleges as well, technically speaking and legally speaking, are government corporations, as well as research institutions and special economic zones, Mr. Chair.
No, so, give me the universe. What's the universe? Someone should know. Someone should be keeping track, because if we're going to exclude GOCCs not under GCG, then we should know exactly what we're talking about. For example, you are excluding, or you're proposing to exclude DNR, MUPs, right? May I ask, who's the representative of the DND? Coast Guard or the military uniform personnel? May GOCC ba under you?
PAGC, which is
That will expire, sir.
set to expire its mandate by March 3rd.
Pero meron.
PAGC. Meron, sir. Isa, sir.
O paano yun? O, paano yung under DND na GOCC?
Mr. Chair,
Under sa inyo, hindi?
Yes, under sa amin, Mr. Chair. Philippine Aerospace Development Corporation.
But I need the universe. I need the universe of GOCCs to be able to check exactly what we are talking about when we say we will be covering GOCCs not under GCG.
Your Honor, currently we were still getting the data for local water districts, but our computation, including of GCGs, is 135 GOCCs.
Excluding
Not yet.
local water districts.
Yes, sir. We're getting the data for the how of the
In
exact
relation
number.
to state universities and colleges, do you consider them GOCCs? Who can answer that question? Are state universities and colleges considered GOCCs?
Sir, we do not consider state universities and colleges as GOCCs. We do not consider it. Opo.
Even if they have their own charter? So what distinguishes a state university or college from a local water district? They have their own board, they have their own charter, they're performing corporate functions, not only governmental functions, so pareho silang walang shares of stock. Yung security ko, hindi ko pinapahirapan ng buhay mo. Kaya lang, ayoko lang pahirapan yung buhay ko pag ako tinanong. Mas maganda na ikaw yung nahihirapan kaysa ako, di ba? Kindly look into it. Kindly look into it. I won't belabor the point. Kindly look into it. Now, of the 119, sir, right? GOCCs, ilan na yung nag-right-size doon? Ilan na yung inayos nyo which justifies your being exempted from the right-sizing bill?
For the total count of GOCCs, Mr. Chair, that have been right-sized or reorganized by the GCG, around 40 to 50 GOCCs, Mr. Chair, out of the 119.
Kindly submit the exact number, sir, not a range. So,
Yes, Mr. Chair.
40, paano yung balanse? assuming it's 40, out of the 119, you're talking 69 more. Ande, sorry, 79 more. So anong status ng 79? Because even at 50, that's less than a majority of the GOCCs under you since your creation. So again,
Yes, Mr. Chair. We'll submit the number of GOCCs and the identified GOCCs that have been reorganized, Mr. Chair.
what's the reason why you haven't been able to do that right sizing for the remaining balance of roughly 60%? Again, you're being exempted eh. Why? If you haven't done it, why? O tinatamad lang ang DBM kaya kung kayo nagagawa, kayo na gumawa. So what makes it so special if you're not doing it anyway? How long has GCG been in existence?
The GCG was created in 2011, Mr. Chair.
So 14 years.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
For 14 years, you've done 30% of total.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
How long will it take for you to do the rest?
For other GOCCs, Mr. Chair, they're subject to other dispositive actions such as abolition, Mr. Chair. So some GOCCs no longer be reorganized but subject to other actions
Like what?
under 1149. Abolition and privatization, Mr. Chair.
Like what?
So among the 119 GOCCs, that includes the CIIF companies, the Coco Levy companies, 14 holding companies, and 6 oil mills group, which under the Coco Levy Trust Fund law are subject to
Okay.
privatization upon determination of the Coco Levy Trust Fund Committee. There are other GOCCs.
Gano'ng katagal na rin yun?
That law was 2019, Mr. Chair. So under the Coco Levy Trust Fund Act, the national government and the committee has 5 years to determine whether or not these GOCCs would be subject to privatization or retained by the national government.
Nag-lapse na yung 5 years ng 2024.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Ang gagawin natin? What do we do now? What if they don't close up?
And we'll submit the proper recommendation to the Office of the President, Mr. Chair.
Of the 119, ilan yung for abolition? So if you've done 50, I'm giving you the higher end of your estimate. Of the remaining 69, ilan ang for abolition?
So among the 59 remaining, Mr. Chair, the Philippine Aerospace
69.
Development, 69,
50, 69. Yeah, kung 50 kayo. 119 ka mo eh.
yes, Mr. Chair,
So may
59.
59 ka pa.
So 49 actually. The 20 GOCCs under the CIF, Mr. Chair, are subject to
20 yan.
20 for privatization, Mr. Chair. The Philippine Aerospace Development Corporation under the DND, the charter is set to expire by September of this year. There are other GOCCs that are being evaluated for abolition. This includes the
It's set to expire in 2025.
2025, Mr. Chair.
Okay.
This year. The Philippine PNOC Renewables Corporation is also being studied for dispositive action abolition, Mr. Chair, among other GOCCs.
PISAM,
PISAM, Mr. Chair, there is a pending bill in Congress to extend the
we will
corporate
extend it
life.
for 5 years. Because if they haven't been able to do their job for the past 30 years or so, what assurance do we have that they'll be able to do it if you give them another 25 years? So we're giving them 5 years and that's it. To wind up basically their job of privatizing the assets of Napocor. Yun naman ang trabaho nila, di ba? I mean, Chair would like to acknowledge and recognize the presence of Senator Win Gatchalian. Thank you for your presence, sir. This is a consultative meeting which we made public. Happy New Year. Andito ka rin daw kahapon eh.
Nandito nga.
Ako rin. Sige, kindly give us a list and the status and reason so that I can justify why you're exempted.
Yes, Mr. Chair. Will comply.
Legislature is not covered, right? Yusagwang? Constitutional commissions,
Are also not
namely CSC,
civil.
COMELEC, COA, Ombudsman at Commission on Human Rights.
Constitutional commissions. LGUs also, sir.
Isa-isay natin.
Okay.
Blah, blah, blah.
Sir, CHR po is not the Commission on Human Rights is not covered, sir. Is not excluded. Therefore,
Is not excluded?
yes, sir. The CHR is not considered as a
Ang
constitution.
dami na kasing version eh. Teka lang. Ombudsman, Judiciary. So all courts.
All courts, sir.
Pag may GOCC ba under the judiciary, wala.
GOCC under GU.
Kindly check
Parang-
to may GOCC under the excluded agencies.
Sir, we know that there's no GOCC
Good.
under the judiciary po.
Kindly check na rin sa lahat, ha?
Okay, sir. For this,
And then you're also excluding teaching and teaching-related positions in elementary, secondary, tech-voc, state universities, colleges, non-chartered tertiary schools. So, now, Deped was not mentioned. SHED was not mentioned. You're only referring to teaching and teaching-related positions. Do I take it that Deped is included?
Yes.
SHED is included insofar as non-teaching items are concerned.
you are correct, Mr. Chair.
So when you say teaching and teaching-related positions, paano yung teacher na ginawang secretary ng supervisor? Ang dami nun, ha? Teacher na ginawang secretary, bodegero, utusan ng supervisor.
They have
Kasi
to
wala namang non-teaching personnel ang Deped eh. O konti lang eh.
yes,
Yan.
Mr. Chair, they have to look into the item or the plantilla of that of the employee, Mr. Chair. We know for a fact that some of them will be doing multiple tasks in the school, but we look into their item or plantilla where they are employed po.
Shouldn't we also look at exactly what they're doing? Isn't that what rightsizing is about? If that item is not being used by that person for the function he or she is supposed to perform, then shouldn't she be given that position instead of a teaching position? Kaya ang ganda ng student to teacher ratio mo eh, sa papel. Pero sa classroom, ang pangit kasi hindi naman talaga nagtuturo yung mga yun eh. All principals hold teaching positions. About 90% of principals don't actually teach anymore. Kasi ang dami daw nilang ginagawa, ang daming kailangan gawin. Boss na raw sila ng mga teacher, ayaw na nila magturo. And yet they hold teaching positions, ha? So, isn't that part of rightsizing, looking at what they're doing, not only the position they're holding?
Yes, you're correct, Mr. Chair, that this is also a good opportunity for us to look into their mandates and actual
can we include that in the
job
bill?
functions.
Can you include that somewhere in the bill na hindi lang yung position o item niya, pero yung ginagawa niya talagang trabaho to find out if indeed the
Particular
position needs to be created because, again, we're exempting MUP, military uniform personnel. We're exempting Deped. I'll talk about the other agents later. But the main problem between these two agencies, including the police, ang daming police na ang trabaho, hindi naman police. Ang daming sundalo na ang trabaho, hindi naman sundalo. Ang daming teacher na ang trabaho, hindi naman teacher. I'll give you an example, Yusek De Leon. Lahat ng bantay nyo sa kampo, sundalo. Dapat security guard yun eh. Hindi trabaho ng sundalo at trabaho ng security guard. The most attacked and threatened country in the world would be the United States of
Kung meron man kayong mga komento tungkol sa mga isyong ito, maaari kayong magbigay ng mga reaksyon sa comment section na makikita sa ibaba ng bidyong ito. Maraming salamat, at kung ikaw ay interesado ng mga bidyong tulad nito, mangyaring suportahan ang channel na ito sa pamamagitan ng pagpindot ng like, pag-share ng mga video at kung bago ka pa lang sa channel na ito, please subscribe sa channel na ito at pindutin ang notification bell at piliin ang all upang maabisuhan ka para sa mga paparating pang mga videos.